Daniel Ricciardo is out of this weekend's Dutch Grand Prix after breaking his wrist in an accident during second practice at Zandvoort today. He will be replaced by Lawson, who will make his debut at the AlphaTauri team. But it's such a big setback for Daniel Ricciardo. Just 2 races after he made his return to Formula One, replacing Nyck de Vries at AlphaTauri after all those difficulties he's had at McLaren the last 2 years. This was his big opportunity to come back, show what he could do. He had his sights set on Red Bull, and now this setback. It's unclear how bad the injury is. We know it's a wrist break of the metacarpal bone in his left wrist, but exactly how long he'll be out is unclear at this stage. Of course, he's out of this weekend's Dutch Grand Prix. It's very hard to imagine that he'll be able to make a recovery in time for next weekend's Italian Grand Prix either. After that, there's a 2-week break to Singapore, and perhaps he'll take some comfort from the fact that Lance Stroll managed to recover from a broken wrist in just 12 days ahead of the start of the season to drive for Aston Martin in Bahrain. But there's no guarantee that the break is similar. If a similar recovery can be achieved by Ricciardo. Meanwhile, Lawson makes his Formula One debut. A huge weekend for him. He'll get just 1 practice session before going into qualifying and then the race to show what he can do. And I think expectations will be set appropriately. But there's a lot of buzz around Lawson. He was also under consideration when it became clear that Nyck de Vries was going out from AlphaTauri. He's always been there as Red Bull's reserve this year, potentially stepping in if there was a problem with any of the drivers across Red Bull and AlphaTauri. He's been racing in Japan this year in Super Formula and is doing particularly well in that series. So it's a real possibility that he comes in and impresses and gets his chance to show what he can do in a Formula One car. In the meantime, we wish the best to Daniel Ricciardo to make a swift recovery from what was a really nasty incident today.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.